Expert Syracuse basketball recruiting. They are on their way to bringing the brand back. Syracuse, NY. In successive seasons, the Syracuse men's basketball program has the chance to pull in five-star basketball recruits. Kylian Anthony, currently a four-star, added Friday to what appears to be a resurgence in Orange basketball recruiting. After Anthony committed to Syracuse on Friday, the recruiting website 247 Sports.com ranked the Orange's 2025 recruiting class No. 6 nationally. That will likely change as more top players commit to programs, but right now Syracuse is swimming in a splashy recruiting pool with Duke, Kentucky, UConn, Notre Dame, and Mississippi State. Last year, the Orange got a commitment from Donny Freeman, a five-star prospect ranked No. 13 nationally by 247 Sports.com's composite rankings. For consistency, we've used that ranking for every Syracuse player since 2003, when the service began. Earlier this year, four-star Sadiq White committed to Syracuse. As the 29th ranked player in his class, he could theoretically become a five-star recruit before the year is over. So could Anthony, ranked No. 32 right now. White was followed by Aaron Womack, 3-star, and Luke Fennell, 4-star. Then, Anthony agreed to play for SU. Syracuse has not registered back-to-back five-star signings since the 2006-7 and 2007-8 seasons. SU's 2007 class was particularly significant since it featured two five-stars in Donta Green, 7, and Johnny Flynn, 18. In 2006, Paul Harris, 10, committed to the Orange. Last year, SU received commitments from Freeman, 13th, and Elijah Moore, 99th, both top 100 prospects. This year, White, No. 29, and Anthony, No. 32, were among the Syracuse pledges. Adam Finkelstein, 247 Sports.com's director of scouting, said the Syracuse staff under second-year head coach Adrian Autry has elevated the way the program recruits high school players. I think that was really the marching orders coming in, Finkelstein said. They recognized the brand wasn't necessarily carrying the same catch on the recruiting trail as it once was, and they were really trying to elevate that again. I think they're doing a really good job of that, not just in high school, but J.J. Starling and Chance Westry. Those guys were priority recruits coming out of high school. An analysis of every SU recruiting class since 2003, sadly, the data does not reach to Carmelo Anthony's class, shows Syracuse is pulling top-level recruits at a rate it enjoyed years ago. SU last had an entire recruiting class in the top 100 in 2016, when Tias Battle, 36th, Matt Moyer, 67th, and Torian Thompson, 75th, committed. The year before that, SU enticed Malachi Richardson, 31st, Tyler Leadham, 70th, and Frank Howard, 85th, to play in Syracuse. None of those players were five-star recruits. One can argue with rankings with good reason. These are evaluations based on subjective analysis. But the rankings offer the only way to sort the value of high school prospects. And before the Orange received a commitment from Donny Freeman, it had not lured a five-star player to Syracuse since Fab Melo in 2010. Autry has said his staff will likely not recruit large classes of high school players to Syracuse, but the Orange could lose 8 or more players from this year's roster. Some will exhaust their college eligibility. Some might elect to turn pro. Some could transfer. SU worked the transfer portal last season to unearth position players it needed. But securing commitments from prized high-priority high school recruits remains an important part of the process. Roster construction is so different now that it was 3 to 5 years ago, Finkelstein said. You have to replace your upperclassmen in addition to bringing in some five-star freshmen or highly recruited freshmen. It makes the landscape all the more challenging. But I think certainly they are on their way back to bringing the brand back to where it was.